there's a couple of things going on that we haven't really paid that much attention to, but actually have probably will have material import down the road. And that is the sort of both simultaneous implosion of some right-wing talkers' audience and an incredible amount of infighting that is going on that I think will ultimately be pretty consequential, at least for the near term.
Yeah.
I almost don't know where to start with this. You first had a lot of right-wing dissent around Israel. On one side, you had the principal anti-Semites who and American firsters. I don't know that there's really a huge gulf between those two people.
No.
But they did not like our involvement with Israel. So sometimes good things can come from bad places.
They're basically Christian nationalists.
Yes.
It's Nick Fuentes, it's Candace Owens.
But the non-koofy Christian nationalists.
Yes.
And I guess they started to attack people like Ben Shapiro, who Ben Shapiro trying to be an American firster, but also tied for first with Israel.
Yes, well, I don't even know if he'd say tied, but we can quibble with that. But it is interesting. Ben Shapiro was so cool with Candace Owens' open anti-Semitism when she was employed at the Daily Wire.
Hitler apology.
She literally said while at the Daily Wire that Hitler's problem was not that he kept it confined to Germany, but that he had expansionist aims and he wasn't Germany first. Newsflash, there were Jewish Germans who would probably disagree with that. And Ben Shapiro held on to her throughout the entire saga. Also, the Kanye West saga, when Kanye was going out there, she was defending him. Even Shapiro was defending him. Kanye said, "What was it? Everyone's or Hitler." I forget exactly what he said about Hitler. That was positive, but it was open Hitler apology. Yeah. So, my point is just that Candace Owens was very defensive of those two. Obviously anti-Semitic statements by Kanye and then by herself, and Shapiro had her on until she was speaking about anti-Zionism, and that's when they parted ways. And that has morphed in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination into some swirling conspiracy theories that started with Israel took Charlie Kirk out because ostensibly Charlie Kirk was turning on Israel, which is quite unclear that was the case.
No, he just wanted to still have Tucker Carlson come to TPUSA events. That's all it was.
Yes. Yeah. And we should say he wrote some text, I think to Candace Owens or to somebody 2 days before he was assassinated that indicated that maybe he was going to turn against Israel or he wasn't going to take. But presumably Israel had been planning months before this assassination. And, there's a lot of people that had to be paid out. But then the conspiracy theories. And look, I'm not in a position to judge really and I haven't really followed it, but it's involved other TPUSA individuals that Candace Owens has been pushing, saying that, that they were all sort of conspired against it. And now they're addressing Candace Owens. And you should just know that Shapiro's show's numbers have cratered.
Yep.
Charlie Kirk's show's numbers have cratered. And everybody seems to be lining up on one side or the other of this. And then there's a couple of peacemakers in between. And here is PBD trying to be a peacemaker. Now remember, the last time we checked on Patrick Bet David, he had the brilliant idea to deal with with Israel's
do the roast
PR problems for committing a genocide to allow some of Israel's comedic criticizers to do a roast with Benjamin Netanyahu for like 2 or 3 years.
Let's throw this out once and for all.
Yeah, Tom Brady style roast. Just give it to him.
We only roast the ones we love.
Yes, let a little air out of the tires, I guess, as they would say.
We used to have Nuremberg. Now we have Netflix.
Now, exactly. And now, of course, Israel is still in hot water because they did not subscribe to, they didn't take his advice. But now Patrick Bet-David is going to talk about what's going on with TPUSA. Invited Candace Owens on for a debate. She will not go there because she's afraid of being assassinated, and she thinks that Erica Kirk was behind it. And it's a little suspicious. The whole thing's suspicious.
It's a little weird. I mean, isn't Charlie one of her best friends? Seems to have a pretty poor relationship with his wife.
It happens.
Sometimes.
It happens. Your best friends, then. And so here's PBD. But then the things get a little bit weirder, too, after this.
For you, go there to feel safe. Because she's right. She needs to feel safe.
She should.
But at the same time, to me, if this is like, there's a part of me that's like, go with the Macron story, right? Go with the Macron story. Tom, what is that? Does that have to do with the story or?
No, I was just.
Okay, so go with the Macron story. So with the Macron story,
there's putting out that we're wearing the same blazer.
Yeah, I could have started this after that.
Well, but what happened was that Tom's putting something else up there on the screen, and that happens here. Sometimes you get a little distracted, but he is now saying that just to be clear, Candace Owens afraid to go to TPUSA onto the Charlie Kirk show because she's nervous about. And I don't know that I would go into their lair. I don't know.
Do it remote.
But here is Patrick Bet-David is like saying maybe it's time for her to just focus on the Macron story. The Macron story, incidentally, is that Candace Owens is convinced that Macron's wife is actually a trans woman, and they're suing her, I believe.
And she seems to be the only person on the right that is insistent about this conspiracy theory in a way that where it's like, sometimes it's like you see, I feel like Charlie Kirk was doing a bit of a character. Even Ben Shapiro plays it up because they're so cynical. She's genuinely insane.
Yeah. Rogan believes it, by the way.
Oh, Rogan does?
Oh, there's. I'll tell you something. There is a lot of people who believe what Candace Owens. There's a lot of people because she's onto something.
But okay, fair enough. In right-wing media, it feels like this is her flag that she's planted. It's a little insane.
But
it's been helping her numbers significantly.
And it's clear why PBD would want her to focus on that instead of the infighting on the right.
Right, here we go.
The Macron story. Tom, what is that? Does that have to do with the story or?
No, I was just.
Okay. So go with the Macron story. So with the Macron story, there's a part of it that you're interested in the Macron story, right? Where it's like, I want to know. Yes. Okay, let's keep going. I want to know what's going on, how this thing's going to end. But with the Turning Point USA guys, I don't know if you really, you realize without TPUSA, Trump doesn't win. I don't know if people are thinking about it that way. Forget about all this feud and oh my God and what's going on and I think I'm on her side, I'm on their side. It's not she's this, she's a Scotch. Set all that stuff aside. If there's no Turning Point USA, Trump does not win in 2024.
Yep.
Perfect. If I'm the Democrats, if I'm Qatar, if I'm anybody that wants Democrats back in, dude, I have to dismantle Turning Point USA. And she's helping in that process. So
can you pause it for a
now
sec?
what?
So I just am trying to put little just breadcrumbs here because we mentioned this in the Tim Pool segment last week about his meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu and then in that in that meeting, I think it was Jewish Insider reported that he asked him about Qatar's influence on the internet space and how it's making essentially kids into radicals against Israel is the thrust of it.
Buying creators, I mean, is the implication.
There's just something to note about the focus on Qatar when it comes up completely in a way that makes very little sense when the subject of Israel comes up. And I just think people should flag that when they see some of these creators bring it up out of nowhere, because that's a Zionist talking point.
But what's happening also right now is Tucker Carlson went to Qatar and interviewed, I don't know what Qatari
Prime
official.
Minister, I think.
The Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And so this is all part of this like Internecine war. I'm not pronouncing that correctly. And what I love, Patrick Bet David, it's like this guy's giving a lot of advice to people. He is in Manect mode.
Right.
But he's doing it for free. And apparently that's because Candace Owens not calling Manect to find out what she should be doing in this situation. And so he's saying, don't do the TPUSA thing. Now, I want to say this. If he thinks that people who want Republicans to lose in 2026 and 2028 are cheering on what's going on with this, he is correct.
Yes.
I want to make that clear. That's what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. Because, yes, the more disoriented the right is, the more incohesive it is, if that's a word.
Incoherent, sure.
Well, incoherent, but non-cohesive.
Okay.
The better for society. But let's let him continue with this sage advice.
Democrats back in, dude, I have to dismantle Turning Point USA. And she's helping in that process. So now, whether she's coming from a place of, she's doing it because she's getting eyeballs. She's doing it because a dream she had with Charlie, and Charlie told her this. Whether it's because she's funded, whether it's because that's exactly what she believes. I don't care what those reasons are. Everybody has their own reasons for doing some things, and sometimes it doesn't make sense to you, and then it takes 10, 20 years to really learn the motive. It took us 4 years to realize what happened with the pipe bomber, right? The 4 or 5 years to realize.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, to realize what's going on with the pipe bomber. We may not know what's going on here for a long time, but what we do know is the following. Turning Point USA falls. Someone is replacing those kids being fed, and then who is that? Name me the second biggest Turning Point USA organization that you trust. Name me who you trust above Turning Point USA, where the guy Charlie Kirk put it together. Then we have to make one of two things. Either Charlie Kirk was such a horrible leader that he picked people the wrong way, then we're questioning his character. Because you get judged for who you choose. Okay? And so Candace's argument is if Turning Point USA is that bad, then that's questioning his character and his wherewithal to pick the right leadership team on what to do with the company. Okay.
Look at Tom and Donnie said, yes.
We're actually the Charlie defenders here.
Yeah, that seems like a little bit. Why are they pretending like all of the decisions about TPUSA were made in Charlie's interests?
Well,
that seems to be very motivated reasoning to say that beyond the grave he would have approved of all of these things.
Well, apparently, I mean...
also, the people he hired around him, I think, is the implication. That why would Charlie... because Candace is literally saying, his chief of staff is doing suspicious stuff immediately after Charlie. So Charlie, if you say that those people are suspicious, you're actually questioning Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk is the one
You're not just questioning Charlie Kirk. You're questioning his character as a person.
Judgment.
As a person.
Wow.
So he is actually better friends with Charlie Kirk than Candace Owens is what he's saying. It's fascinating. Is there any more to this?
That's probably good.
That's about as good as it gets here. But there's another strand. So you'll notice that PBD is taking the same tact that Tim Pool took, which is this is destroying the, hurting the Republicans' chances in the midterms, which I think Okay, maybe. It's not helping it, probably. And Candace Owens shot back like, I don't care about the midterms. This is my friend I'm defending here.
Here, Candace. Righteous.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.